Dun, 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 dun.
TMFoDS, the many friends of David S.
Hello, friends and family. Welcome to the 10th episode of The Many Friends of David S. We've been through a lot to get here, but here we are. Today, the interviewer becomes the interviewer becomes the interviewee. No, I don't know how it works, but
No, you got it.
one of those. But yes, this is David's special 10th episode. And so for today, we are switching the roles up a little bit. I was on the first episode, and so apparently now for the 10th episode, I get the privilege of interviewing David. So all of you lovely viewers can learn a little bit about the person who's been interviewing others.
Hi, everybody.
David?
I'm David.
Welcome to your own show.
Oh, shoot. Did I jump too early? Should I?
No, that was perfect.
Hi. It's great to be on here, Julia.
Yeah, welcome
Cool.
to your show.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say as we go into this episode?
I'm
Any
David.
feelings, any predictions?
I wasn't nervous, but now I'm kind of feeling it.
Really?
It's weird. I never knew what it felt like until now.
Right?
But yeah. Everything's
I was
nice.
nervous, but now it kind of feels natural.
Yeah, because we switched roles. Isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah, wow. Some of
Yeah,
the
you're the
pressure's off of
captain now.
me.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay, so to start us off, I have a pre-question to my initial question. Have you heard of this ongoing debate about doors and windows?
I don't think I have. What is
Okay.
it?
So basically there's been this debate going on whether or not there's more doors or windows in the world. And
Windows.
lots of people, it goes back and forth. Really?
Windows.
Oh, no, that's not it. Windows is not one of the options. It's doors. I was like, wait, I don't know anyone who has that take because that's not even an
building
option.
in like a city, they're all windows. I don't even.
Yeah, that's not
No.
one of the options.
It would
The
not be
debate
an
is doors or wheels. Are there more
No,
doors
that's
or wheels
pretty
in the world?
different. Doors. No
Okay.
other question.
Okay.
Just doors.
Well, I had assumed that you would have already heard of this debate, so I have a secondary debate that's going on now.
Good. Keep going.
So let's hear it. Do you think there are more eyes or legs in the world?
Ew, I don't like that. Wait, are you just saying humans, or because like, if I'm thinking of
Are there
spiders,
more eyes or legs in the world?
human eyes, human legs, spider legs? What is the just anything in general?
All eyes and all legs that exist in the world, which is there more of?
Are we talking also about like non-human things, like a table has legs and does the letter I?
That's
What are
an
the
interesting
parameters here?
point. That's an interesting point. I haven't heard that take yet.
You're the one that gets to choose. What do you say?
Let's focus on eyes that function for vision and legs that function for movement.
Okay. And if an animal has multiple, are we counting those? So like a dog's first, like, yeah, those are legs, then legs.
Mhm.
Easy enough. Because do you think there's more animals than people on Earth? What do you think?
Well, I was team legs. Because you
Team
think about a
legs. I don't like
centipede.
that. Okay.
But then I was informed of aquatic animals.
Do aquatic animals have more eyes?
Well, do they have any legs?
Some of them do.
Well, okay, let's think about just fish.
Yeah, there's at least like 12 fish that have legs.
Okay, I'm team eyes, personally. I think there are more eyes than legs.
Okay, well, what makes you think that? Keep going.
Because now it's tricky because if you think about ants have 6 legs and 2 sets of eyes, but there's
Two
millions
sets of eyes
ants
or
in the
one
world.
set of eyes?
No, one set of eyes.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. And there's millions of ants, so I could see it going both
There's a lot
ways.
of ants.
However, there's like millions of fish. There's millions of fish in the sea. And most fish, sure, there's a couple oddballs and genetic deformities, but most fish
But we
do not
still
have
love them
legs.
anyways. Most fish
Yeah,
do not have legs.
they're still accepted.
Are we
So-
saying?
They have eyes.
Are we counting like sea creatures as fish, like crabs and whatnot?
Yeah. If their eyes function as eyeballs, then it counts as an eye.
Do you think there's more goldfish in pet stores or in the sea, or wherever goldfish swim?
In the sea.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just feel like you wouldn't find a lot. I don't think
Wait,
they're very
goldfish
important.
specifically?
Yeah, goldfish specifically. Not like clownfish, not like any other that you would consider to be close to that. Just goldfish.
Actually, are goldfish, like, able to be wild, or are they purely domesticated fish?
They're very classy animals. They,
Yeah. They don't stoop to the wild.
They're above that, simply. Goldfish are ugly, dude. I don't know why people like to keep them as pets.
I think I confuse goldfish and clownfish, to be honest.
I do too. But, I mean, Nemo and, like, a sardine that's gold, basically. And I just feel like...
So a sardine that's gold is a goldfish?
I don't know if it's a sardine, but it looks like it. I don't know anything about
okay.
fishes. No, I never want to.
I think you're right.
I think fishes are the most boring animal. Like, at least with a bird, you can teach it to talk, maybe?
Yeah.
But I think I'd be more scared to own a bird as a pet than a fish.
What about a mouse?
Mouse or a rat? Like, will it be small forever?
No, let's go rat.
What size is this rat? From California to New York. How big? Is it a dog?
Like a hefty New York rat.
Just that idea. It's so bigger than Chubby Wubby.
Much bigger. Oh no, not
No, Chubby attacked me. But, yeah. That hurt.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Ain't no rest for the wicked. That's actually not on that album. That would be Cigarette Daydreams.
Cigarette Daydreams.
So it's
Doesn't
bigger
really
than Chubby Wubby. God, that would be terrifying. Can you imagine? Like, you're like hanging out with your friend, like, hey, do you want to come over? And like you go over and then a rat just like sits on his lap. It's like, oh, this is Rufus, by the way.
Have you ever known someone who had a pet rat?
I've been told, like, I never saw the rat, but they told me about it, and they're like, oh yeah, we feed him carrots, and he just like very humanly grabs it and like,
Ooh.
Right? And like they're more human than not sometimes, and that's a no-go for me.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
I don't think I've ever seen a rat like in person, not a big one at least.
Ew.
Have
They're
you?
grossing me out now. No. Actually, maybe. I don't know. I know. Let's move on.
Well, no, I want to go back to this bird question. Would you ever own a pet bird? Because I couldn't. I think I'd be so scared of it. Birds
no.
freak me out, dude. Did I ever tell you about the story on why I'm scared of birds?
No, please tell me.
It's good content. So when I was like 11 maybe, we went to Santa Monica Pier, which is like the really big one here in California.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a whole roller coaster on the pier and all that. And my uncle bought me a churro. You know, those delectable desserts.
Right.
And
yum.
So I'm holding it, right, looking over this pier, and it's a really nice pier, and then out of nowhere, the seagull swoops in, like this is the seagull, just right there. I'm holding it, just like right there, grazing me with his wing, grabs it out of my hand and drops it in the sand, and it looks at me for a second, and then it goes to get it. Terrified.
Ew.
It was so creepy, dude. I felt the wing, I heard like the wind. Ugh. I hated that.
That's
and
disgusting.
Then, yeah, the entire day, anytime I saw a seagull, my like family would like jump at me and stuff, and I would flinch. I would hit the floor, like the biggest like reaction in the world.
Yeah.
And then I think like 3 years later, Grand Theft Auto came out, and you can go to Santa Monica Pier, and you can get a sniper rifle, and you can shoot all the seagulls you want, and I did.
You got back.
I got my revenge. Yeah, that was my villain origin story. But
I saw a pelican for the first time about 2 years ago.
Dude, pelicans are creepy.
That was the most terrifying experience of my life.
I'll go to the beach sometimes to go running, and every time I'm on the pier, there's always a pelican that's just eyeing you, and he moves his head slowly, and they're huge. They're like
I did not realize how big they were.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen? I saw this on Instagram, but it's just like a huge pelican, the size of a human, and it's like kind of normal. And so like it's like there's like teenagers messing with it, and he turns towards the camera and like yells at it. I saw that at 1 a.m. and I turned the lights on.
I think I have seen that, yeah.
That got me out of bed at 1 a.m. That was awful.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Or like just the idea that like a goose can attack me. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna be in my favor.
No, I think that geese are like the raccoons of the bird world.
Hey, raccoons are pretty nice.
No, they are not. Have I never told you my raccoon story?
You've never told me your story, but we've had this debate a lot of times, so please tell me your story.
They're aggressive. They're like literally like animal-born psychopaths.
Nuh-uh, they just be eating cotton candy and all that, and they drop it in the
water.
water.
They live in sewers. They literally, you'll watch them crawl out of a sewer in the curb.
It's like where they have to live. Gentrification's a real thing, Julia.
No, here's the story. When I was 11 years old, my brothers and dad were like, I don't know, I think they were at a Nuggets game or something. They were doing something fun.
Was there a sports team called the Nuggets?
Yeah, that's basketball.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Denver Nuggets.
See, I hardly know these things.
They're like nuggets of gold, I think, because of like the gold rush in Colorado. I don't know.
I kind of just thought McDonald's,
of that on my own.
Thank you, yeah.
Little chicken nuggets, yeah. So yeah, anyways, they got to do something fun, and I was like 11, and I was home alone with my mom, and we'd like, I don't know, we were coming back from the store or something, and when we came in, pulled in the driveway and into the garage, and my mom like forgot to shut the garage door, and so we went in, and then I like just went upstairs or something, and all of a sudden I hear my mom screaming bloody murder, and I literally think she's like dying, so I run downstairs, and she's like arms against our garage door, freaking out, and then she's like, there's raccoons in the garage,
Multiple?
and I was like, yes. And it was this big fat mama and its baby. It was humongous, and it had two babies. One of them was like kind of smaller, but then it was like a large, medium, and small, like 3 raccoons. And then we crack the door open to look, and 2 of them are like, the little babies are digging through our trash, like ripping open the trash bags and stuff. And then the big mama is on the hood of her car, and then like all this stuff. And so we're home alone. We're 2 like little girls. And so my mom calls our war veteran neighbor, who's proven in the past to, how do I say this?
How do you say this?
He's just like, he's a very, like, kind of, not crazy, but just like a...
Eccentric, maybe? Or more like volatile?
Kind of volatile. Like, just like, first instinct is violence at all times, okay?
Wow.
And so she calls Caleb. Oh, sorry. And
no, he's on the podcast.
Do not bring him on. She calls him up, and she was like, hey, we have raccoons, like, freaking out. And so he comes over with his shotgun and shoots all 3 of them. And he had to shoot, like, 10 times, or they would not go down. And then I'm watching this whole thing, and then he's, like, dragging their bloody bodies out and all this stuff. And it was so traumatizing. And then the next day we get, like, in my mom's car, and there was little paw prints on the windshield.
Ghost. Awful, dude.
It was disgusting.
I kind of wonder if he went a little too crazy. 10 shots?
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like, he's a violent... I feel bad saying that, but, like, he's a...
But I feel like maybe one would have done it for the mom with a shotgun. I think I would have gone down with one.
Yeah, no, and it was bloody. Like...
You're just Fortnite dancing over them? Like, what was he doing?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I went to Colorado. That's cool.
Hate raccoons, yeah.
I feel like they should hate you.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, I didn't shoot them, and I didn't call the person who shot them. So Let me
ask you,
witness.
If you went home right now, because you're at the library, if you went home right now and they were in the garage, would you do it differently?
If raccoons were in the garage?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't have a shotgun. So I wouldn't have the ability. Honestly, if I drove home and saw 3 massive raccoons in my garage, I would simply have to either burn the house down or leave and never come back.
Why are you so violent? You know what I would do? I would kick open the garage door with like a boombox on my arm, hit play, put it down, and then just, crack open a brewski with the boys. Like, you're in my house, we're gonna have a good time. And then we're, singing little songs over a campfire I've lit in the house. And then I'll let the fire grow, and then I'll get out of the house and they'll die. But yeah, trespassing.
Let me know how that goes. As I say,
I don't think we have raccoons.
Geese are the raccoons of the bird world. However you want to twist it.
No, I don't think that's right at all, but okay. Would you ever buy a shotgun? And this isn't the question. Also, don't forget to look at the camera. But
hey. Um.
Do you ever? Or not a shotgun, but I don't know. Would you ever? Are you against weapons? I guess is my question.
No, I wouldn't buy a shotgun. I think that's a little unnecessary for any use that I would have. But
yeah, maybe.
I don't know why I would need a shotgun.
Get another raccoon at point blank.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Joseph, my brother, used to... You can't have him on. He had to carry around a pocket knife for like 2 years because there was raccoons everywhere he went, so he thought he was gonna...
What was he using a pocket knife for? You'd have to be holding them to do that.
I don't know what the plan was, but
Just carries around a baseball bat?
Yeah.
With barbed wire.
That's probably pretty... Yeah, go all Walking Dead on him.
That's awful.
But...
You choose one of the raccoons to set an example as?
Let their eye hang out.
Oh no.
Sorry, Glenn.
Oh, Glenn.
Spoiler alert.
I never got that far, to be honest. I just looked up that scene and I was like, wow, I should keep watching, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
Better shows.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to Breaking Bad?
My family was obsessed with it, and I watched like the first season and a half, I think. But there's an episode with like a fly in a warehouse. I think Jesse was stuck in a warehouse, and there was like a fly, and he was going insane. Yeah, that's like the 4th season, though. Oh, then I got that far, and I thought it was the stupidest episode ever, so I stopped watching.
That's why me and Luke both stopped watching.
That one episode?
Yeah, that fly episode, because we're like, why were we watching? It's so dumb. Don't tell me there's any meaning behind this episode. It's not worth watching.
That's so funny. I wonder what percentage of viewers stopped watching because of...
Honestly, I know a lot of people, like, personally know a lot of people that stopped watching because of that. But you gotta make it to the next season. Seriously, I mean this with all my heart. Of all the shows I've ever seen, season 5, or I think it's the last season. I think season 5 is the last season. Whatever that last season of the Breaking Bad is like the best season of anything ever.
Huh.
That's like I'll lie my life down for that
all
fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
I definitely have to rewatch the whole series because I stopped watching that when I was like 14 or something.
Really?
Yeah, so I remember nothing.
Checks out. But yeah, I definitely think you should.
Okay, so this next question I thought would give me a little personal insight into your day-to-day life now, because we do live in different states, and so mentally? I don't get to know, in many ways, and I don't get to see what your daily routine consists of, what you need to get done, what your your favorite things, what's in your daily routine.
That's a really good question.
This question specifically is, if I were your personal assistant, what things would you have me do?
You're saying you're not
you can
be
as detailed.
Assistant?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Be as detailed as you want, but what would you have me do as your personal assistant for a day? Okay.
So if you want to be David's assistant, you do have to realize that every day I wake up an hour before I get out of bed, and I will do nothing but stare at the ceiling and just think. It's not on purpose. I'm just very lazy that way.
Okay.
And sometimes it pans out pretty well. Sometimes I had a really good dream, and it's like, wow, that's impressive plot structure. Let me make a whole movie out of this, and then I won't do anything with it. I'll forget it after I'm done thinking about it. But sometimes I have some pretty solid things, and so yeah, either that or I'll just do nothing. I'll think about something that's gonna happen in the day, and then I'll be disappointed later on when it doesn't happen. It's a lot of hypotheticals. That's why I have a lot for this show. Because I'm just like, wow, what would happen if I ever did meet a zebra? Am I going to treat it like a normal horse? I don't know.
Wow,
so yeah, stuff like that. So you gotta give yourself time for this creative just mumbo jumbo to get you out of bed. Then you realize I should really brush my teeth. And that's what always gets you out of bed. So you go do that. Then by the time you're brushing your teeth, you're like, well, now I'm hungry. And then you don't eat for a while because you don't know how to cook. So it's it's probably another hour of just convincing yourself that you can cook and then doing it. And I think the last 15 minutes in the hour is doing it. After that, it depends. Is this a work day? Is it a day off?
In your ideal day where you would have a personal assistant, however that would may look.
Okay. If it's a work day, you take a shower, you get ready, then you go 30 minutes early to work. Because it's a 30-minute drive, even though it shouldn't be. Then, you spend a good 5 minutes in the car waiting for the perfect song to drive off to. It could be any song. Sometimes you're feeling some more rock and roll. Sometimes it's the Beatles. Sometimes you're really annoyed that it's the same Beatles song that Spotify won't skip for whatever reason. But Happiness Surely is a Warm Gun. Great song, look it up. Shoot, did the Beatles have to be on here now? I did drop them.
Yeah, I think you do.
Shoot. So yeah, then you make your
call
drive.
Their people.
Yeah.
If I'm your assistant, that's me.
Yeah, you're my people right now. Anyways, so then as you're driving, you think, I want gum. So you open your gum department inside of your car that you have, and it's always that blue 5 gum. Or no, it's like, I don't know. I think it's Orbit that I have. It's always the same gum. Then you drive down the freeway, and there's this really big loop that you have to make to get onto the next freeway, and that's my highlight every time. I'm just like, here it comes, and then it goes, and I'm like, yeah, it sucked.
Whee!
And then, yeah, no, it's a huge thing. Then, yeah, you get off the freeway, and then you're like, well, now I need a good song. So you're cycling through all your good songs as you're, like, getting ready to get into the parking lot, and then you realize you wasted your time because you just didn't find the right song. Then you walk into work. Yeah, then you walk over to your store with your sunglasses that you're wearing because you're that cool. As my secretary, you must remind me to put them on because sometimes I don't. Thank you. That's why you have yours. We should have wore sunglasses for this episode. Then you show up to your store and you gotta be the coolest guy. You gotta have your responses ready. People are like, "Why are you late?" And you're like, "'Cause I hate you." Everybody laughs. That's the thing. As my secretary, you do have to help me chart out like my responses. I need the wittiest comeback I can possibly have anytime somebody says anything. And yeah, if I don't achieve that, then I failed the day, and then I have to quit the job. That is in my rule book.
Fair enough.
Yeah, then you go to lunch. You buy whatever the chef's special is. Sometimes it's awful. Like the other day, it was a portobello sandwich, which I thought was like a burger with mushrooms on it. But no, it was just one big mushroom the size of a burger inside of the sandwich. I honestly thought I was not going to be able to go to heaven after I ate that. So yeah, that was awful.
Don't question your salvation.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of praying that day. And sometimes it's really good stuff, like some kind of pasta and whatnot. And can't complain. Pasta is great, no matter the day.
True.
Then you go back to work. Yeah, you do a little messing around, a little bit of jokes here and there. And then you go home. You listen to a podcast, not this one, because you're bored of it by then. It's just like you've already heard yourself so many times. So you look up a podcast and you listen to that. Just calm down the nerves as you're driving home. Then you get home, realize it's 11. Think, do I want to play Red Dead Redemption or do I need to sleep? And either or will win depending on the day. Sometimes it's a victory and you get a good night's rest. Other times you go around the city and shoot a lot of bandits, and either way, it's a David day.
It's a different kind of victory.
It really is. Anyways, can I hear yours, or is that not allowed?
I didn't really think about it.
Hey, I just made mine up on the spot, so I don't even have a job.
Let's see. Well, in my day-to-day routine currently, so I wake up, right? And I also need a good amount of time, usually about like 40 minutes. So I've been getting to work. I have to get to work at 8. And so I've been waking up at like 7:15. And luckily my job is like 5 minutes from my house. So I will lay in bed until 7:50 and then get up, like brush my teeth and put on my outfit and then leave. Like no routine other than laying in bed. Just mentally preparing for the day, okay?
Okay. Are you on your phone? I feel like you're one of those people that goes on their phone when they wake up.
It's like on and off. I'll go on my phone and then I'll like lay and like stare. And then I'll like check something and then I'll like lay again and just think. Be in my head. And then
That's a good place to do it.
I go to work at this point. And usually I'm right at this current moment at my job, I'm very useless because I'm basically just a floater. So as for example, yesterday I got there and it was the assistant director, not like the director, so she didn't know what to have me do. So she had me go around to all the teachers and ask if they needed a bathroom break. and all of them said no. And so I was like, okay, what do I do now? And then so I just kept on walking around until someone said that they wanted a bathroom break. And that was what I did for the first 2 hours of work. And then finally my director got there and told me what I should be doing with my life.
Not that.
Yeah. So,
do you have fun doing it? Can you say that?
It's an adventure for sure, to be honest. And I hope none of them are watching this, but I'm not a fan.
I'm sure they're watching this. Be careful.
I'm not a fan of some of my coworkers. Let's just say that. Yeah, so...
Well, what is it that you don't like about them? Is it like their personalities, or...?
I think their personalities would be fine if they didn't scream bloody murder and degrade 2-year-olds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
that's
kind of my
really
pet
great.
peeve. Like, does that make you feel good about yourself? Do
I
you
think
feel
it
high
would,
and mighty right
actually.
now?
If you're actually asking, yeah, it feels great. You can't color, I can.
No, there's literally this one teacher that's so mean. There's this kid who, like, he just has a tough time listening, and it was nap time, and he, like, didn't want to take a nap, and he started crying because the teacher was yelling at him, and then he, like, was, like, through tears, and I wasn't in the room. I was in, like, a different classroom, but there's no wall, so I could hear everything that was going on, and he was crying and saying that he wanted to go home, and the teacher goes, I want you to go home, too.
Merged.
Like, that is really going to cheer him up and get him to listen. Good job. I think you solved childcare.
Well, how would you handle that situation?
I would comfort him. He's crying. I'm not going to and she was like screaming, like, go to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep under those conditions. Do you think he is? No? Anyway.
I'm starting to think this child was you all along. Julie, we don't have any work for you, so just take a nap. I want to go home.
I want to go home. Yeah, so maybe as my personal assistant, I would ask that you either get me new coworkers or
I will actually just
help them to be a little kinder.
For every, 5 minutes they berate a child, I schedule 10 for you to berate them. And just a little taste of their own medicine. And, yeah, I think that's where we'll start at least.
Know how to do that.
You want to know how? You just, I don't even know either. I mean, you'd have to know them, just personally attack them.
Just hit him where it hurts.
Yeah, no, I'll write some prompts for you as your assistant.
Thank you. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll go, deep diving into their lives on my free time and just find what they're really insecure about.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Or, one day you'll just, yell their social security to them as they're yelling at a child.
Oh my gosh. I should figure that out.
Your coworker's social security? Yeah. I think that's a good start to your career.
I should learn everyone's social security and just always have that to use against them.
You want to say it on this podcast?
Yeah, should we?
Yeah, should we? What's your social security? I'll cut it. I want to see if you trust me enough.
I don't know.
You failed.
Yeah, I do fail.
Do you have another question for me?
Yes, I do. Okay.
Yes, I do.
I'm figuring out which path I want to go down. I've got quite a few that I'm jumping in between.
Cool.
Okay, I like this one. So,
I love that you did your work for this. I'm very appreciative.
Thank you. I tried. When we first became friends, would you agree that, we joked about how you didn't like a good majority of, people in general, the general population. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did I say that? Yeah.
No, I believe you because I know that was the time, but, do you remember, the phrasing I used? Because that'd be funny.
I think it was just, I just don't like most people.
Yeah. All right. I buy it.
Okay. So, with that being said, what are some qualities in a person that will make you enjoy their presence as a human being?
I think,
top qualities.
I don't know if this exactly counts, but, something I noticed that, I always click with people that do this. If you can roll with a joke when I meet you, I will give you full attention. With you, I made fun of you, and you just, thought it was funny, and then I assume you made the noise again, just knowing you. you would have repeated that noise and just like, haha, it was funny. But like if I was like, I do this basically with everybody I meet. I'll like ask them like a fact about them, and I'll be like, oh, what do you go to school for? And they'll be like, oh, I'm a psychology major. And I'm like, oh, so you don't plan on doing anything? And like a lot of the time people would laugh at that and they'll be like, no, nothing really. And then they'll be like, what's your major? And I'll tell them, and they'll make fun of me too, and like, oh, we're friends now, we can talk about anything.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I think it's like humor is a really good part of like if we can be friends. I think there's a lot of like, there's great qualities about people, and there's really like not so great ones when you can meet someone. There's like, you meet Zoe and she's very energetic and she's ready to tell you everything about everything, and with like a smile on her face. And then like if you meet Luke, he cares to ask you everything about you, which is a really cool thing. And I think so maybe not just with meeting someone, but in general, I think the people that really go out of their way to like make you feel important just for that minute is really cool. That's what I aspire to do. I don't really do it often, but like it's something I like consciously tell myself every day, like, oh, don't try to make people laugh, try to brighten their day, which is like, and one will lead to the other. That's what I think. Yeah. I don't do it very often, but I tell myself to. But I think I have at least tried to change since I first met you, because mind you, I was a very different person when I first met you. I wasn't I wasn't a very extroverted person, or like what would be the word for that? Like I wouldn't go greet people. Like either you greeted me or like you don't exist. And now I like actively try to be like, oh, like you look like somebody who has like nobody to talk to. Maybe I can help. And it's, I don't know, it makes me feel better. I hope it makes them feel better, more welcomed. I just think of like how all you guys that have been on this podcast, how at one point welcomed me when I didn't feel welcome. So it's just like, it's something I'd like to promote towards others. Yeah.
Well, you definitely do that. That was a very good answer. I liked that.
I don't think it answered your question, but it was...
No, it did.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you brought up that you brought up your major. Okay.
My what?
Now, what would be your most ideal path in your field? Like, everything went, like, what are the details of, like, where you want to go with it? Or if you don't want to at all, or, like, where you want to go?
I thought you said my makeup, and I was like, what does that mean? But, yeah, my major. First of all, do you remember what my major
I didn't hear you correct. What?
No. Do you remember what my major is?
I know that it's film, but I don't know if that's, like, the official name.
It's film. It's film with an emphasis on screenwriting.
Okay.
It never feels like a good thing to say out loud. Like, I never, like, oh, wow, that's cool. Does it... You told me this before, but, like, very subtly, you were like, yeah, when I first heard your major, I didn't think much about it, or something like that. Like, what does it sound like when you hear that somebody has that as a major?
When I hear... Okay, when I hear that someone has, like, a film major or something in the arts, then, like, one, it's, like, impressive because it's in the sense of, like, okay, at least you're doing what you want. Like, you know that you're, like, actually pursuing something you want to do. But it's also, like, and we've talked about this, how, like, the flip side of it, but it was kind of funny when you, like, first told me, just because I was like, well, first of all, I think you're the only person I know who has a major like that, but...
Me too.
It's kind of, like, it just reminds me of, like, the cliche in movies of, like, people who, like, want to go, like, be a star, like, that type of thing, where it's, like, oh, that's crazy, like, that's pretty cool, but... I've since learned that, like, you're one of the people who's, like, actually good at what you do. So it's not like you're just, like, you want to make movies. Like, you're genuinely, like, you know that it is worth something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's... Because I can also see that, like, when I meet people that are film majors, I'm like, oh, so you don't want to do anything with your major. And we'll laugh about it. If they understand that it's, like, not easy. Some people are really blinded to, like, their, like, oh, well, I'm so good. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm going to be good at it when I do. And then I'm like, no, you're going to suck. And then you're going to realize that. But yeah. Because there's, like, two kind of film majors I've learned. There's some people that are, like, dead-on dedicated, and they're, like, very annoying to me. But it's because they're, like, so, like, fixated on their goal that they don't see it. And they're going to be successful, as far as I'm concerned. And then there's the others that thought it was going to be an easy major, and then they learned that they're not good at it.
Yeah.
Like, so many people will drop out of nursing because they're like, this is too hard, let me do something easy. And then they drop out of film because they don't think it's useful and they don't think they're good at it. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so it's like, yeah, you gotta be dedicated to it, really. But,
Yeah.
what I want to do with it is I want to be a writer. I don't want to do anything with cameras. I don't even think I'd care to direct, to be honest. But, I want to be a writer, and I want to just, like, I want to do movies. That's, like, my biggest thing. And just, like never anything blockbustery. I don't think it's not, like, what I like writing. Something really, like, emotional and stuff like that. Which sounded stupid coming out of my mouth, but yeah. And then, like...
No, that's good. I was going to ask you if you wanted to, like, be well-known for, like...
I mean, I would want to be well-known, of course, but I wouldn't want to, like... I wouldn't want to be the Michael Bay, you know, where it's like he makes a lot of money, but people are calling him a sellout all the time, and he's okay with it because he knows he's purposely selling out just to make more money. And it's like, I guess maybe he's having fun, but I want to say that, like, there's, like, art to what I'm doing. Like, the last paper you have to write for being a film major is, like, what is a movie to you? And my answer was, I think it's a celebration of life. I think it's everything we've learned and everything we've enjoyed and everything that makes us, like, feel something. And it's just, like, reinterpreting that and putting it into this, like, not a painting, but, like, some kind of artistic format where you can see, like, the artistic intention behind it. And that's, like, the hugest thing to me. So people hate me when I hate Marvel movies, but it's like, no, it's... those are just for fun, and there's, like, two people in, like, when they're making movies. One person is the my thought, and then the other is like, I'm here to just distract you for a while. Just for an hour or two of your time, I'm going to entertain you and make you forget about the world. And there's value in that, but I don't like it. I don't think it's what I'd want to do. It's not what I've lived every experience for. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that.
Wow.
But yeah.
I think that's the first time I've actually understood why you don't like Marvel movies.
Nobody's really asked me. Everybody just gets mad at me when I say it. Nobody wants to know further into it. I have so many different reasons why I hate Marvel movies, and, like, valid reasons, but everybody just, like, shuts you down.
Yeah. When I was
it's like admitting to be a Christian anywhere. It's just like people are done with hearing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was coming up with questions, one of them I was literally going to ask you is, why do you hate Marvel movies?
Well, there you go. Should I
It didn't make
jump
the
on
list,
that right
but
now?
it still got in, yeah.
Oh, okay. No. It's just... Well, in short, Marvel movies are just that. They're attraction. They're for your eyes. It's basically like, just like, I don't know, there's no substance behind it. Anything that, they're not going for originality. They don't want to. They don't care. And, like, sure, it's not their goal, so I can't hate them for it, but I just think it's like, I'm never going to be into this. I don't think you're doing anything, you're not trying anything new. You're not giving me anything, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm going in circles here, but all to say that nothing is, like, really behind it. It's not emotional, and it's not, like, original. There's one thing in this new Doctor Strange movie, and I'll spoil it for just a second. It's nothing big. But, the bad guy is Wanda. And I loved that. I hate Marvel movies, but for, like, the first 30 minutes I was into it, because it's all about how Wanda is, like, lamenting over her children that she doesn't have. And so there's, like, a clear reason why she hates everyone. It's not Thanos who's just like, I'm just going to destroy half the world because, like, maybe it's better for you guys, for a planet I don't care about. Like, I didn't really see his thought behind it. And I think there's, like, very rarely, like, emotion behind any of their decisions. But, like, for Wanda, it makes so much sense. She's willing to go to all these creepy lengths to do, like, this really demonic, like way of getting her happiness back, basically. And there's this one scene, it was my favorite scene in the entire movie, where she's like, they kind of, for a moment, foil her plan. It's not like towards the end or anything, so it's not a spoiler. But they, you can see her, like, reaching for her kids, and they're there because she's, like, her consciousness is in another dimension, but also in the same one. So, like, the camera, like, flickers in and out from, like, being with her kids and not. And so she's, like, happy and then sad and then happy and sad. And it's like, whoa! I thought it was cool. Nobody else cared.
That's cool.
Everybody else cared about the cameos. That's my whole thought.
Yeah.
Next question. All right.
I like it. Okay, next question. So, you live in the Los Angeles area, correct?
That's right.
Now, that is something that is very interesting to me, because living in Phoenix was, like, the most city experience that I'll ever have.
Okay.
Now, this is kind of a two-part question. They're intermingled.
Okay.
My first one is, any recent celebrity encounters that are worth noting, / what is the most LA thing that you've experienced? And those can go together or they cannot.
I think I can muster up answers for that. So I told you this before the call, and I'm going to tell you again. The other day at my job, I'm in this store in the little Snoopy area, and Dixie Damelio and her boyfriend is there. And you can tell because there's a crowd of people with the phones following everything they do, and they don't leave them alone. They're not taking pictures. They're taking videos. They're making their, like all these biographies for them. It's a whole thing. And it's definitely what boomers are scared about when they talk about celebrities. And it's honestly, it's so inconvenient. But they're by our store, and because of it, we can't help anybody because everybody's flocked over there, and they're blocking the doorway and everything. And it's super inconvenient, and they're really just making out. What they're doing is they're kissing each other in front of everyone, and nobody thinks it's a weird thing, which it is. It's PDA. And yeah, nobody cared, and it was inconvenient for us. So that was probably the only celebrity interaction I've ever had in LA.
Is that the only one? Wow.
I don't know if it's a thing in your head where we see a lot of celebrities in LA, but we really don't.
I think it really is. I thought you'd be walking down the street and see at least vloggers.
That's so funny. Maybe vloggers, but not big ones. There are a lot of people that go to Knott's and they have their vlog cameras. They're what is up, you guys? We're at the store. I'm buying something, and I'll be in the video. And I'm I never said I wanted to be in here, sir. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm do you want a bag? And they're do I want a bag? And it's shut up, dude.
So awkward.
It is. It's you don't get enough viewers for this, man. Or maybe he doesn't. I'm just out of the loop.
Yeah.
But it's weird like that. But no. And there's a lot of people that think they're the next big vlogger, and everybody wants to be David Dobrik out here. Mm. But you'll see that in GCU and all that. So we don't really see a lot of celebrities, and I mean if we would, it'd be in other cities like Beverly Hills and whatnot. But I've never been to Beverly Hills. I've never even been to the Walk of Fame or anything.
Really?
No. Everybody I know has been there once and thought it was not worth going to. So I'm well, I guess I'll never go.
Yeah.
If you ever come out here, I'll take you there. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would want to go see the stars of the most random, not random, but the weirdest ones. Isn't there? I think there's a star for Shrek.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog has one.
Yeah, I want to see his. I don't care about the Queen.
Queen? You don't care about Queen? Whoa.
No, the Queen of England.
Okay. I was gonna say Freddie Mercury gets his respect here.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Queen fan. No.
Okay. Have you ever seen that Muppet video where they sing Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
That's a real thing. It was on Disney Channel when I was a kid.
Maybe it'll unlock a memory if I watch it.
It's just the weird opera part too, but it's the chickens and the Swedish chef, and it's really weird.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can watch it.
Yeah, but what was the question? There's two parts. Oh, what's the most
celebrity
LA
encounters?
Thing?
Yeah.
I think the most LA thing, and it's probably not the coolest answer, but I think it's I realized this yesterday, where it's if anything popular happens on TikTok, if you see an ice cream shop that does dehydrated ice cream, we will have it in less than a month somewhere. Or knife throwing became pretty big on TikTok. Now that's a thing here. And it's just anything trendy, we will flip the switch on that instantly, and we will have that just because they want it to be a tourist trap, and that's what it is. Yeah. And so all our bars are they have those little light bulbs that hang from the ceiling, the aesthetic way.
Oh yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of places where girls can take aesthetic pictures in these stores, and that's really what keeps LA afloat, I think.
That's funny.
But yeah, also a lot of homeless people, but yeah. A lot.
Yeah. More than Phoenix, where we lived, Phoenix?
I think they're different because we have a lot, but Phoenix are more aggressive. They will try to get in your cars. They will constantly try to swindle you. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, the LA ones are more aggressive, or Phoenix ones are more
aggressive?
Okay. Yeah.
At least in my experience. I don't live in the city. When I used to work in the city, I knew it was a bigger problem, but I don't know. It's been such a long time. Maybe they're nice people now.
Yeah.
There is a building in, I believe it's Skid Row, which is where all the homeless people go. That's where we just throw them all. And it's a building that's so, it's just overrun by homeless people, and no police or firemen will dare go in there. there is definitely
Jeez.
people that die in there. There are fires that start, and nobody is bothering because it's just so lawless in there. It's wild.
That's scary.
It is. It's terrifying. Skid Row is not a safe place. We used to go there on like school trips, and oh god, the things we've seen.
Wow.
We've seen a lot. Yeah. What is the most Colorado thing? Would you say?
Oh, I would say. Honestly, actually, I was thinking of this today because I had to go to Castle Rock, which is like a city over from Parker, where I live.
I've heard of it.
And I had to go to get like my fingerprints done from a new job.
Yeah.
And
Let's get.
when I drove there, because fun fact, before like I went to Phoenix, I avoided the freeway at all costs because I'm terrified of driving. But then after living in Phoenix and like having to use it, then like I can do it now. I've learned.
You have to take the freeway in Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's no other
Yeah.
option.
So that's the revelation that I had today was, so like when I went there, I just used my maps and like the freeway was faster by 1 minute, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can take it now. Like I'm a big girl, I know how to use the freeway. So then I took it and blah blah blah, I go get my fingerprints done. And then I didn't enjoy my ride there. Okay. So then I took the way that I normally go because there's like a back road that gets you to Castle Rock from Parker, and it's really like basically the same amount of time. It's like 1 minute longer. And so I took the back way. And as I'm taking the back way, I was just so grateful because I was like thinking in my head, okay, in Phoenix, you have to take the freeway because if you take the back roads, then you're like driving through the ghetto and you feel like you're gonna die, and it's not a very comforting feeling.
I wonder how different our ghettos are.
However, or just like not a good area, you know? And it's not nice to look at. It's not, you don't feel joy when you're driving through the back roads of downtown Phoenix, okay?
Okay.
And then when I'm driving through the back roads in like anywhere in Colorado, like it doesn't even have to be from Parker to Castle Rock. Like in general, back roads in Colorado, I would much rather take than the freeway because it's just like, it's always a scenic route and you will pass through like cute little towns and main streets. Or you'll have like a good view of the mountains, or there'll be like pretty forests that you're driving through. And I feel like that's a very Colorado thing, is like anywhere in Colorado, you'll get that. Like taking the back roads is just always a better option.
I really want to go to Colorado. I really do.
You should. You should come.
I will. Give me like a month.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Julia, you don't know how dedicated I am to things. I have a podcast now.
True.
Can't just say okay.
Believe you'll do it.
Yeah, I probably would, but yeah, that's really cool. We don't have a lot of scenic views in California.
Yeah.
We have a lot of smog, which does cover a
Yeah.
lot of our scenic views.
Mhm.
Or you get a lot of money and you live in Beverly Hills, and that's nice too, but I don't. So, yeah, that's something I really want to experience, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best you
There's
got,
so
though.
many cute little, like the library I'm at right now, it's at the beginning of Main Street, and if you like keep going, it's like, it's called like, actually it's not called, I was gonna say something that was not true. So it's like, I know that like Old Town Scottsdale's a thing, then like I want to say Old Town Main Street, but it's not, like it's just called Main Street, but it's very like old towny, like it's just like a cute little like street. But yeah.
I like. I'm gonna go
Okay,
there.
so my final question that I think maybe we should wrap up with
Okay.
is, okay, in your current vicinity that you have access to at this moment, what is your most interesting possession that you can talk about?
Like, do I have to pull it up kind of deal?
Not unless, if it's going to be a hassle, then no, but if you have a visual or something.
Interesting possession. I have a couple of things, I assume. I guess I can grab them. I'm a little lazy. Give you a sec. So I have two. The first one is this vintage camera. I bought it at a swap meet. It still works. I have 8 more pictures to use before I can develop the film. And I don't know when I'm going to do that. So I think it's pretty cool. It's about that. And then I have this weird lightsaber lamp. It turns on. It's blue. It's real cool. It's not plugged in, so I can't turn it on right now.
Oh.
But I think it's a really weird gift. It's very inconvenient for lighting. I don't ever use it if I ever want to look at something because it's just like a headache. But it's cool. It looks like a normal lightsaber. I have a 3-year-old nephew, and he just got into Star Wars. So when he comes over, we'll turn off the lights and we'll just turn this on, and he'll swing it around and all that, and he'll make the noises with his mouth, and yeah. So I think that's pretty interesting. We have the childhood teddy bear, Chubby Wubby. Mm-hmm. Which I guess his little backstory is one of my brothers asked me one time when it was like, because I have adopted brothers, right? Mm-hmm. And it was when they were just adopted that like they had come over, and it's kind of weird, being an adopted kid into a new house with like already other boys there. So I guess from what I've been told, it's like having a baby has been like the uniting factor to everyone, because it was like you all have something to laugh with together, so you could get like that sense of community, and then boom, it kind of breaks that like wall that you would have. And so I guess I was just playing with all of them, me being like 2 years old, and then one of them asked me like, oh, what's the name of this bear, because I had just gotten the bear, and I just like, with my very small like vocabulary, said Chubby, and they're like, does he have a last name? And I said Wubby. And and so all of my stuffies since then have gone, but like I just keep this guy because I think it's a pretty good memory to think that it was like
that
a cute,
is a good memory.
Yeah.
That's really wholesome.
Possessions.
Have you ever? You haven't developed the pictures on that camera, right?
No, you're on it though.
I know. I was gonna say, is that the one that you had after move out last year?
That we moved out like right after we took those pictures, you and I.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't know what to use those last 8 on. I feel like I should use it on something good, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
But anything else you have?
I think we hit all the main points that I wanted to.
Should I give? We basically, I don't know. I don't think this is a traditional episode, so we're not going to give you the normal questions. But I didn't get to ask you on the first episode, so I'll ask you now.
Okay.
Who would you want to dedicate your first episode and this episode to?
Oh,
if you could.
Like in my life? Like a real person?
Yeah, or in your life, you could speak them onto the podcast by saying their name. You could just say, hey, like, I think this person would like this episode. Just,
Let's see. I think I want to dedicate my first episode. Can I can I dedicate it to you?
If you give me a reason, sure. Why?
Okay, because since it was the first episode, then it was like the start to this podcast journey that you're going on. So I would dedicate that first one to you.
Thank you. That's very thoughtful.
You're welcome. All right, and then this one.
And this one.
I think I would dedicate to Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not the worst talk show host in America. No, that's James Corden. But
oh my gosh, the James Corden show is ending. Did you know that?
Yeah, because he sucks.
No! I feel like he has like the most popular segments. Everyone loves a good carpool karaoke.
I don't, though. I don't.
Okay, well,
I know.
Most people love
Maybe
a good carpool karaoke.
Cats just kind of like scarred me for life, but I just like, I don't have any interest in you, Mr. Corden.
I think he kind of served. I haven't seen it, but I kind of believe in him.
I think it's over. His time has come. I don't know what he's in every movie ever. Get him out of those, please.
Well, I think Jimmy Fallon deserves this one because I think he was the OG interviewer that
I think so.
Is like
I guess
not
so.
like
I guess in a way
not OG of all time, but like of like this time period, like he's like
I
the
think
main.
you're right. In a way, I don't want to admit it, but like he's probably an inspiration for this podcast.
Yeah. Yes. There we go.
There was a post that's like Jimmy Fallon is to comedians like a little brother that like he thinks he can do what you can do or something. Something like that. And it was like, yeah, that's Jimmy Fallon. But yeah, I think it's very nice to hear. I'm gonna dedicate because I never get to do that.
Do it.
Can I dedicate for every episode? Just kidding. I don't want to. Those aren't my episodes. This
Go
one's
1
mine.
through 10.
Oh yeah. This is top 10s.
Yeah, this is your episode technically.
Can I do multiple people? Can I be like everybody who is on here because you're all so great for making time? Maybe you, because you did you jumped hurdles to get this episode done.
This one was a tricky one.
Yeah, no way would this be possible without your dedication. But no, I still don't think. You know what? This could be very narcissistic, but for good reason. I want to say
yourself?
Future David.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to say that, like, when I'm looking in the future, and I'm like, wow, I'm doing a project that I actually care about, and, like, it's much harder than this podcast I did before. I can at least look back and say, like, hey, you did something that you had fun doing, and maybe it wasn't successful, and maybe it wasn't good, but you had fun, and you can do another project. So this one's for you, Future David. And just to, I'm gonna throw another one just for everybody that was on here, all the many friends that have, like, inspired me and, like, changed me in a way that I wouldn't have been able to ever make a podcast before I had met all of you, because you truly have changed my life in some way or another. So yeah, this is for all of you, especially you, Julia.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I think, do you just want to throw out, like, a random catchphrase and just say, hey, I thought of one on the spot? And we'll end it with that.
You know, I wish I could lie and say that, but I really am not good at these things.
Just tell me something on the spot. You got 5 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.